You're standing right on the edge of a massive life moment, a major presentation, a difficult conversation, or a huge career leap, and suddenly you completely freeze. Your heart hammers against your ribs, your mind starts racing through every possible worst-case scenario, and a crushing wave of self-doubt hits you. The only thing you want to do in that moment is turn around, walk away, and quit entirely. We treat this kind of intense imposter syndrome and panic like a uniquely modern problem, but this exact psychological breakdown was perfectly documented and thoroughly analyzed over 5,000 years ago. These ancient narratives function as technical manuals for the human psyche. They document the mechanics of ego, the biological origins of fear, and the specific triggers that lead to total mental paralysis. Take the dirt of Kurukshetra. It is the site of a catastrophic war between two massive factions of the same family, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, both lined up and ready to slaughter each other. The sensory buildup before the violence is absolutely terrifying. You have warriors roaring like lions across the field, followed by the sky-shattering, deafening blast of ancient war horns, the conch shells, signaling the start of the bloodshed. Then there is Arjuna. He is the supreme archer of his era, the ultimate warrior. He commands his chariot driver to take him straight into the open space, dead center between the two massive armies, so he can look his enemies in the eye. But looking across the lines, he doesn't see monsters. He sees his own uncles, cousins, and beloved teachers. He experiences a deep, paralyzing sorrow called Vishad. His mouth dries out, his skin burns, and his legendary bow, the Gandiva, literally slips from his shaking hands. The most disciplined soldier on the planet drops his weapons, sits down in the back of his chariot, and completely refuses to fight. If the greatest warrior in human history can be entirely paralyzed by sudden, overwhelming inner doubt, how can we expect to be immune to it in our own daily lives? Right at this moment of absolute rock-bottom despair, his charioteer steps in. But his charioteer is Krishna, who delivers the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita to an overwhelmed Arjuna. Krishna identifies the mind itself as the primary terrain of the conflict. He explains that the physical environment at Kurukshetra is merely the staging ground for a much deeper internal struggle. This diagram maps the process. The external foes mirror the real internal enemies we face: uncontrollable greed, sudden anger, and endless desires. When allowed to take root, these saboteurs cause a complete breakdown of logic, paralyzing your ability to take meaningful action. Identifying and addressing these internal pressures is the prerequisite for managing any external crisis, whether that is a career move or a personal confrontation. To break this paralysis, the Gita introduces its primary philosophical weapon, a concept called nishkam karma, or action without attachment. Practically, this means executing your duty purely because it is the right thing to do. You deliberately choose to ignore your obsession over the reward, and you completely block out your fear of failure. It grounds this idea by contrasting our daily anxieties and physical bodies, which are fleeting and impermanent, with the enduring, immortal nature of the soul. This diagram illustrates how the text offers a way out. If you're still stuck, it doesn't trap you in one way of thinking. It offers 4 distinct paths to achieve freedom from that paralysis. The first is finding clarity through the pursuit of deeper understanding and knowledge. The second is breaking through the fear by committing to sheer, selfless duty. The third relies on conquering the mind through deep focus and intense stillness. And the fourth is surrendering your need for control through ultimate faith and devotion. This framework provides a range of options for reestablishing control, ensuring that regardless of a person's temperament, there is a technical path back to action. As Arjuna processes Krishna's instructions, his physical symptoms of distress, the cold sweat and shaking limbs, subside. He regains his mental orientation and his paralysis lifts. His sense of duty is reawakened. He picks his weapons back up, fights the righteous war without attachment to the outcome, and ultimately secures victory. Look at your own life and identify your personal Kurukshetra. It might be a highly toxic workplace, a deeply difficult relationship, or an intense, gripping fear of failure. When you find yourself standing on that battlefield, Do not let imposter syndrome or fear paralyze your logic. And whatever you do, never drop your weapons. We can easily access and apply these ideas today, thanks to modern scholars like Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who worked meticulously to translate these ancient epics into practical guides for daily life. The Bhagavad Gita remains a functional system for maintaining purpose and clarity. It serves as a practical guide for navigation through a modern world defined by noise and uncertainty. इस वीडियो को देखने के लिए आपका बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद।